The movie starts with a family that has 3 siblings. The oldest sister is Violet. She is very smart and invents new things. The second sibling is Klaus. He loves reading and has read all the books in their house. The youngest sibling is Sunny. She is a little baby, and her special thing is that she bites everything: wood, tiles, or anything she finds. One day, a banker comes to meet the children. He tells them that their parents have died in an accident and their house caught fire. The siblings go with the banker to see their home, but everything is burnt. They have lost everything, including their parents. While leaving, Klaus notices a pair of binoculars in a room. The banker, who is also their family's personal banker, takes care of the children. He decides to take them to a new guardian, a close relative. When they get out of the car, they see a beautiful house. The siblings think they have arrived at a nice place, but inside, the house is horrible. It is in the middle of a dark forest. The new guardian was Count Olaf, is greedy and only cares about money, not the children. As soon as they arrive, he sends the banker away. The house is very scary. There are spider webs everywhere, and the stairs are broken. There is also a secret room, but Count Olaf warns them never to go inside. Count Olaf gives the siblings a list of house chores. They have to clean, cook, and wash dishes. After some time, Olaf's friends arrive. They look evil and scary. Olaf is an actor, and he starts practicing a play with his friends. His acting is so boring that even his friends fall asleep. The children go to the kitchen, but there is almost no food, even though they somehow make pasta. But when they serve the food, Count Olaf gets angry. He yells at them even after they did so much work. Count Olaf hits Klaus. Violet, being the eldest, tells her siblings that this is their home now, so they must stay strong. She ties her hair back and does a small experiment. She builds a small hut where the children sit inside, looking at their parents' pictures. She uses light to reflect images onto the top of the tent. Later, Count Olaf goes to the court and proves that he is the children's legal guardian. Now that he has full control over them, his real plan is to take all their family's wealth. One day, Olaf locks the children inside a car and leaves it on the railway tracks. A train is coming fast. Violet quickly calls the banker, but he cannot understand her because of the loud train noise. Violet invents a tool to switch the train's track. She throws it just in time, and the train changes direction. The children are safe. The banker arrives, but he thinks Count Olaf allowed the kids to drive the car. The children try to explain that Olaf tried to harm them, but the banker does not listen. The banker then brings them to their second guardian, who will take care of them. This guardian is very different. He is a doctor who loves animals, especially snakes. The doctor tells the children about two-headed cobra and a three-eyed frog. Finally, he shows them his most special animal, a black python. He explains that this python is the friendliest snake in the world and would never harm a human. That night, the doctor sings a song for the children. The kids feel safe and happy. The next morning, the doctor plans to travel with the children and his animals. Just then, a man arrives, claiming to be the doctor's assistant. But this man is actually an imposter. The children quickly realize that the man is Count Olaf. They try to warn the doctor, but he doesn't understand. Thinking quickly, the kids write a message and send it to their guardian using a snake. When the doctor reads the message, he finally understands that the assistant is a fake, but it is too late. The children search for their guardian, but they cannot find him. Soon, the police arrive and investigate the situation. Count Olaf lies to the police, saying that the doctor was killed by his own black python. The children protest, saying that the black python is too friendly, but no one believes them. Then, something amazing happens. Little Sunny goes near the snake, and to everyone's shock, the huge python does not bite her. Instead, it plays with her. Seeing this, the police and the banker realize that the doctor did not die because of the snake. They also discover that the fake assistant is actually Count Olaf. As they try to catch him, Olaf manages to escape once again. Since the children's second guardian has also died, the banker takes them to their third guardian, a woman who lives in a strange house built over the water. She is kind, but appears very fearful. She invites the children inside and immediately warns them about many dangers in the house. She tells them not to touch certain objects because they might kill them, not to go near the fridge as it could fall and crush them, and if the door handles break, they could injure their eyes. The woman is terrified of everything and believes that one day, something in her house will cause her death. Then woman shows Violet an old photo album filled with memories from her past. They also find a picture of a group of people, including their second guardian. This means all these people knew each other. Suddenly, the woman closes the album and refuses to talk about it anymore. Later, she takes the children to a room with a large glass window, through which they can see the vast sea. The next day, the children go to the market with their guardian. While they are there, a man arrives, introducing himself as a captain. He speaks sweetly and charms their guardian, making her trust him. However, the siblings immediately recognize that he is Count Olaf. They realize that he has returned to harm them once again. The children try to warn their guardian. However, she refuses to believe them and invites the Count Olaf into their home. When they return home, the children search for their guardian, but soon realize it is too late. They notice that the large glass glass window is shattered. A suicide note is left nearby. However, when they try to read the note, they find many grammatical mistakes. This seems strange because their guardian never made such errors in writing. Klaus, who has read many books, tells Violet that if someone makes mistakes on purpose, they might be trying to send a secret message. The children look at the note more closely and discover that their guardian has written the name of a cave. They realize that she is not actually dead. Suddenly, a huge storm begins. Just as their guardian had warned, the gas tanker in the kitchen has a leak. The broken door handles are flying through the air, nearly hitting their eyes. The fridge is also falling toward them. The children quickly lie flat on the ground to protect themselves. When the storm finally stops, they find themselves still alive. However, their house is now completely destroyed, split into two parts. The only thing keeping them from falling is a wooden beam. Despite everything, they refuse to give up. They grab a heavy object and use it to hit the wooden beam, causing it to swing. This allows them to jump safely to the other side. After escaping, they find a boat and set sail toward the cave. When they reach the cave, the siblings call out for their guardian, and she comes to them. They ask her what happened, and she tells them that Count Olaf forced her to write the suicide note. As they sail back across the sea, their boat is suddenly attacked by leeches. The children desperately search for help and spot another boat nearby. They call out for help, but they realize it is Count Olaf's boat. He arrives and pushes their guardian into the water, leaving her to be devoured by the leeches. Soon, the banker and the police arrive. The children try to explain that Count Olaf is responsible for their guardian's death. However, the banker refuses to believe them. Instead, Count Olaf invites everyone to watch his play, pretending that nothing is wrong. The siblings are confused about why Count Olaf is suddenly interested in a play. Klaus starts investigating and realizes that Count Olaf intends to marry Violet during the play so that he can legally take their family's fortune. Violet immediately refuses, telling marriage isn't real unless it happens in front of a legal judge. But Count Olaf introduces a woman from his neighbor who believes she is just acting in the play but is actually a real judge. Violet refuses again, but Count Olaf captures Sunny and ties her to the top of a tall tower. He threatens that if Violet doesn't go through with a wedding, he will let Sunny fall to her death. Violet is forced to say yes, and the wedding play begins. However, Klaus refuses to give up. He thinks about what Violet would do in this situation and quickly comes up with a plan. While the ceremony is happening, he starts climbing up the building, determined to save his sister. Meanwhile, Klaus reaches a forbidden room and discovers symbol found in Count Olaf's room. Klaus successfully rescues Sunny just as the drama is about to end. Down below, Violet is being forced to sign the marriage certificate. Klaus, however, realizes that sunlight passing through the eye symbol can burn anything. As soon as the sunlight hits the eye, he uses it to set the certificate on fire. Count Olaf starts shouting, revealing his true nature. He screams that no one listened to the children, even though they were right all along. He admits he was responsible for everything. As he rants, the participants of the play step forward, realizing the truth. The police and the judge finally recognize Count Olaf's guilt, and he is sentenced to punishment. Before his actual punishment, he is forced to endure everything the children went through. First, he is tied to the railway tracks. Then, he is thrown into a boat filled with leeches. After that, he is placed in a room full of snakes. In the end, Count Olaf gets what he deserves. Despite this, the banker still keeps the children under his care as they have no guardian left to look after them. Before leaving, he takes them to a place, their old home. When they arrive, they find it completely burned and destroyed. While exploring the ruins, Klaus discovers a letter. It was written by their parents, but unfortunately, they received it too late. By the time the letter reached them, their house had already been destroyed and their parents had passed away. Violet and Klaus read the letter with heavy hearts. As they finish, the story comes to a close, marking the end of their journey. Thanks for watching.